even after she finally got her wish and became the beautiful, graceful Meyer Pyre we all knew she would be. He still didn't fully treat her like an equal. She wanted to learn how to fight so she could defend her spawn of Satan, and he didn't like that idea at all. "Edward, will you teach me how to fight?" I asked him, tensed for his reaction as he held the door for me. It was what I expected. He froze, and then his eyes swept over me with deep significance, like he was looking at me for the first time, or for the first or last time. His eyes lingered on our daughter sleeping in my arms. "If it comes to a fight, there won't be much any of us can do," he hedged. I kept my voice even. "Would you leave me unable to defend myself?" He swallowed convulsively, and the door shuddered, hinges protesting, as his hand tightened. Then he nodded. "When you put it that way, I suppose we should get to work as soon as we can." Breaking Dawn PDF, page 634. Like I said before, note the language here. The protesting door is a metaphor for what he's really thinking. Reluctantly, he agrees to allow her to learn how to defend herself, but then he has second thoughts. After all, he likes her to rely on him completely for protection. That's been demonstrated time and time again. Witness his inability to let Bella become her own hero. My first attempt at learning to fight did not go well. Edward had me pinned in about 2 seconds, but instead of letting me wrestle my way free, which I absolutely could have, he leapt up and away from me. I knew immediately that something was wrong. He was as still as stone, staring across the meadow we were practicing in. "I'm sorry, Bella," he said. "No, I'm fine," I said. "Let's go again." "I can't." "What do you mean you can't? We just started." He didn't answer. "Look, I know I'm no good at this, but I can get better if you I can't get better if you don't help me." He said nothing. Playfully, I sprang at him. He made no defense at all, and we both fell to the ground. He was motionless as I pressed my lips to his jugular. "I win," I announced. His eyes narrowed, but he said nothing. "Edward, what's wrong? Why won't you teach me?" A full minute passed before he spoke again. "I just can't bear it. Emmett and Rosalie know as much as I do. Tanya and Laser. Laser? Okay, whatever. Probably know more. Ask someone else." "That's not fair. You're good at this. You helped Jasper before. You fought with him and all the others too. Why not me? What did I do wrong?" He sighed, exasperated. His eyes were dark, barely any gold to lighten the black. "Looking at you that way, analyzing you as a target, seeing all the ways I can kill you," he flinched. "It just makes it too real for me. We don't have so much time that it will really make a difference who your teacher is, and anyone can teach you the fundamentals." I scowled. He touched my pouting lower lip and smiled. "Besides, it's unnecessary. The Volturi will stop. They will be made to understand." "But if they don't, I need to learn this." "Find another teacher." That was not our last conversation on the subject, but I never swayed him an inch from his decision. Breaking Dawn PDF, pages 677 and 678. If he cared about her, he would want her to be as prepared as possible. Instead, he's dwelling on how he can't be her knight in shining Volvo anymore. Doesn't he care about protecting their unholy spawn? Doesn't he want his beloved wife, or does he want his beloved wife to be ripped to shreds because she can't fight? Of course, that doesn't happen because Meyer wanted to write some kind of courtroom drama instead of an epic battle. That doesn't change the fact that at that point in the story, the Cullens didn't know that it would unfold that way. He simply will not let her learn how to be an active player in the non-battle. However, he does encourage her to expand her love shield to protect others from mental attacks. In other words, he's okay with her being defensive, but becoming a warrior is out of the question. This is not a supportive husband. This is someone who desires to keep his woman eternally weak. Remember, it's always what he wants, never what she wants. And the excuse he uses is pretty flimsy. He says he can't bear to think of killing her. When he was human, he probably thought of new ways to kill her every time he got a whiff of her freesia and lavender oh-so-delicious mouth-watering scent. At least he did when he first met her. During their first encounter in Midnight Sun, he spends all of biology trying to calculate how long it would take him to drain her dry and snap the necks of all those in the room so there would be no witnesses. Sure, he didn't mention it again, but I'm not convinced he didn't think about killing her constantly. Being around her must have been like someone constantly waving the world's tastiest cheeseburger under his nose. Also, take note of how she automatically thinks it's her fault. That mentality is very common among abuse victims, so much so that it should be a red flag that something is wrong in their relationship.